Rolls into the end zone, or it'll come back out to the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Centreville Wildcats.
Mishandled a little bit, hit off of his hands and in the end zone, so they'll take over on the 20-yard line.
Now the Centreville Wildcat offense, a lot of weapons as they're led by Sam McElroy, their quarterback.
Yeah, Sam did not start the season as a starting quarterback, but at some point in the middle of the season, he started getting more and more time, and he's actually been playing very well as of late.
And watch out for number 30, Brian White. Wildcats on 1st and 10. This is White around the left side. Gets it up across the 25, up to near the 30, close to a 1st down.
Centreville opened up in an unbalanced set. They were twins left with a tight end over on the same side as the Twins and just went with a toss sweep, and they did get the reach block on the defensive end there and were able to turn the corner.
2nd and about half a yard now for the Wildcats, just short of their 30-yard line. This is White again, trying to get around the right side, but the Oakton Cougars are there to stop him, and he'll be short of the 1st down. And, well, maybe not. Looks like they're going to mark it. He might have picked up the 1st down.
Again, just trying to run off tackle there to the Twin side. That time they did not have the tight end to the Twin side. Oakton did a nice job coming off the blocks there, and just a small gain.
The Wildcats do pick up the 1st down now, 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line. 11:09 to go here in the 1st period. We're just underway as you take another look at the Oakton Cougars coming up to shut that run down. Cats on 1st and 10. Here's White again. This left side, play that worked before. Again, lots of success. Gets it up close to the 40-yard line.
Now that was just a lead play that ended up bouncing outside. Oakton did a pretty good job of shutting off the inside seam, but White is quick, and he's able to take it around the corner. One of the things Oakton will have to be able to do is run sideline to sideline against these guys. White in particular is very dangerous.
2nd and 5 now for the Wildcats, just across their own 35-yard line. 10-50. Yep.
Pass.
McElroy looking right. Lots of pressure. Got loose. Dishes, dumps it off, and not enough for the 1st down, though. He dumps it down to Aaron and Torres, and he gets it up about to the 37-yard line.
They faked their counter, which is a staple of the running game, with the guard and tackle pulling, and then the quarterback booted to that side, and he did a good job of avoiding a huge loss.
Great pursuit
Here
coming up
again.
Yep. Watch Dave Sherritt there in hot pursuit.
Got a hold of him. McElroy very athletic.
3rd and about 3 now for the Wildcats. At their own 38-yard line. This is White again, straight ahead. That he's met by the Cougars, and it looks like they might have stopped him before he got to the 1st down marker.
Okay, that was the lead player isolation. They did a little fold scheme with a guard and tackle, cross block, and Oakton linebacker stepped up pretty nice. Couldn't see who it was.
Now, when you say fold scheme, explain that.
That's a blocking combination between 2 offensive linemen where they exchange assignments.
So they, like you said, they kind of do a crisscross.
An X block, yes.
So the Cats do pick up the 1st down just on the other side of their own 40-yard line. 9:35 to play in the 1st period. No score.
They're unbalanced again. They've got the tight end over here to the Twin side. That was the play they opened the game there.
Here comes White again. Lots of success. Picks up about 4 or 5 yards on the play.
You could see he was very patient there, waiting for the blocking to develop. And they're just trying to get more blockers to the point of attack.
Now, this is kind of what we saw the first time these two teams played. Centreville had lots of success moving the ball in the 1st half. Then Oakton came out and made some adjustments and was able to shut them down in the 2nd half. Call it 2nd and 4, we'll call it now for the Wildcats. One receiver way up to the right side from McElroy. This is White again.
That was the lead play again, and they used a little fold scheme, the X block with the guard and tackle. Don't know if we'll get another look at it. Oakton staying in their 4-3 defense. They may adjust and go into their tight scheme and put more defenders on the line of scrimmage.
Officials call a timeout for measurement. They'll bring the sticks on to measure. 9:11 remaining in the first period, 0-0. We're playing for the Division 6 Northern Region Championship. Thanks for joining us here on Channel 10 Sports, and it is a first down for the Centreville Wildcats.
The first ball game between these two teams, Centreville ground out 12 first downs in the first half, and you know, you can see their game plan. They like to run the football, and it's easy to understand why. Mike Williams, 45, is a very good ball carrier and blocker, and Brian White, extremely dangerous runner, good offensive line.
Gilroy now on 1st and 10 just across their own 50-yard line. Once again, White around the right side this time, gain of about 2-3.
Centreville run number 30, Brian White.
Officials unstack everyone, looking to see if the ball was coughed up, but Wildcats still have possession.
So Oakton went into a little different defensive look there. They moved Dave Sherritt, number 55, up over the center. Kind of frees up the middle linebacker. Mark Kimner doesn't allow the center to get out onto him. Now they're back into their 4-3.
2nd and 8 for the Wildcats. We come around the left side. Up across, down inside the 45 to about the 44.
Excellent tackle by Kevin Haddon, number 7 for Oakton, coming up on the toss sweep. Again, running the sweep to the twin side.
First run by Mike Williams. Last week, Mike had 20 carries for 141 yards in their victory against Langley. Here's another look at it as he comes around the left side.
See the nice tackle right there. Mike Williams, just a junior. Trips to the top of the field.
Receivers up to the right. Here we go over to the right side. Little dive over to the right, gain of a couple.
Centreville run number 30, Brian White.
White, the ball carrier. Sherritt coming up to make the stop. 7:27 to play in the first period. 0-0 is the score. And the Oakton defense holds, and the Centreville Wildcats come out to punt the ball away.
Let's see what they do here. Very important, Oakton, not to jump off sides here.
And it looks like they did, yeah. Coming hard and fast over on that side was Kevin Hayden.
That's what Centreville's signaling. That's costly right there. That puts Centreville in the 4-down territory.
So the Oakton defense shoots themselves in the foot as they stood tall and stopped the Centreville Wildcats, but then the costly penalty makes it 1st and 10 now for the Cats at the Oakton 37-yard line with 7:06 to play in the first period. Gilroy with the eye behind him on 1st and 10. This is White around the right side.
Again, running the sweep to the twin side.
Sherritt and Kimmener coming up to make the stop for the Cougars.
Oakton tackle is number 6, Mark Kimmener. Number 55, Dave Sherritt. 2nd down.
One of the things that makes Centreville a good running team is Williams is an excellent blocker from a fullback position.
Now on 2nd and 7 for the Cats. 2 receivers split down to the left. This is White.
7.
Haddon and Wade coming up to make the stop for the Cougars.
7, Kevin Haddon. 3rd down.
Bring up 3rd and about 5.
Centreville being very patient, just pounding at them.
White pounding away about 3 yards a carry. He's got 36 yards in 10 carries so far. Now 3rd and about 4.5 for the Cats. 5:52 to go here in the first quarter.
There's your counter.
Here comes White trying to get around the right side, and the Cougars are there to stop him right at about the 30-yard line.
Well defensed, should bring up 4th down. That was the backfield action they used on the boot pass right on that play, but that time they handed the ball off to White. That's a play has been very effective for Centreville throughout the year. 4th and 4, long 4.
4th and 4, McElroy brings his Cats up. 1 receiver up high, 1 down low. McElroy looks to his left.
Flatten up.
Going deep to White.
Oh.
Bobbled and dropped, falls incomplete.
That was just a flatten up. They had White lined up as a tight slot, and he released, ran to the flat, and then turned up, and just trying to let him use his speed, and had a chance to catch the ball, looked like.
Off of the defender's hands and then into White's hands, but he couldn't hold on as we take another look.
A little pump fake.
Was that 23 on the coverage? Ian Wade. Now, Buddy Teschner and company out on the field, shooting for Lassane. Diving attempt, cannot hold on to it, and it falls incomplete.
That's his money man right there, Teschner. Number 3, Lassane, is the leading receiver for the Oakton Cougars. Sean Lassane, first team all-district selection. Buddy Teschner, the offensive player of the year in the Concord.
We have 2nd and 10 now for the Cougars. 5:02 to play in the first quarter. Still scoreless. Teschner on the left side's got some running room. He's got a first down. Cracks it up to across the 45 to about the 47. First down for the Oakton Cougars.
Ran the option there. Centreville caught out of position. Number 40 picked the wrong gap to blitz on that time, and Buddy able to hit the option weak on him. Here you'll see it. See Centreville caught in the blitz.
Teschner does a great job of get the ball upfield. Now back to live action. Now 1st and 10 from the 47. I believe Deck the ball carry up across the 50 to about the 49.
Defensive player of the year in the Concord District, Drew Manning, number 55, outstanding linebacker for Centreville. Leading tackler. It's a lot of plays.
Second and about 7.5 for the Cougars. 4:11 to play in the first quarter. Teschner airs it out. It's got Lassane, and he looks like he's got enough for a first down, just short of the 40-yard line.
Just the hitch route, more or less a timing pattern, 3-step drop. Sean Lassane, a big target.
There is a swirling, gusting wind that they have to contend with down there on that field today. Here, take another look at this pass play.
1, 2, 3. There it is.
Quickly coming over on the coverage, Mark Glenn of the Centreville Wildcats. Now 1st and 10 for the Cougars inside Centreville territory. This is Teschner again. Not going anywhere that time as the Wildcats were there to stuff him at the line of scrimmage.
There you got to look at Drew Manning coming off the block there, 55.
Give him about a yard on that one. Call it 2nd and 9 now for the Cougars. 3:19 to play in the first quarter. We're tied at 0.
Quarter could end with each team having one possession.
Teschner with one receiver way up to his left.
Able to catch him again.
John Deck over the left side, upended at about the 32-yard line.
John Deck, leading ball carrier for the Cougars. You know, he may not have the speed of Brian White, but he's a tough, hard runner. Oakton, nice job there on 2nd and 10, putting him in a 3rd and short.
Take another look.
Boy, they got Manning blocked that time, and Hagan took himself out a little bit.
3rd and 1 for the Cougars. Deck straight ahead behind the surging line, picks up the first down.
Just a wedge play. They're able to get some movement there. Just a real simple straight ahead.
Got it inside the 30 to about the 28. Drive continuing to roll along here for the Oakton Cougars as the clock does also. 2:21 to play in the first quarter. Buddy Teschner, one receiver way down to his right side. That's Lassane. Deck, again, left side, picks up a couple.
Last two first down plays. Centreville's come up with big defensive plays. Let's see what they do on 2nd and 9.
Drew Manning coming in to make the stop on that last play. Now 2nd and 8 for the Cougars. Teschner brings him up. One receiver way down up to the left, one down to the right. But he looks right. zipped it right into the open hands of Ryan Harn, but he couldn't hold on to it. It falls incomplete.
They were in a trips formation there. Had two flankers and the tight end down here to the right. It's a little read pattern. Ball was on the money.
Now by trips, you mean?
3 receivers
triple
to this side,
okay.
right? 3 receivers to the right here.
So now 3rd and 8 for the Cougars. 1:30 to play in the first quarter. Teschner looks left. He's got Lassane. He pulls it in. Yes, plenty for the first down inside the 10-yard line.
And we got a flag down too. Late flag. That was Oakton motioned to trips and went back to the single receiver side and threw the fade. They got single coverage over here. And you can see Lassane just running to the sideline, ball thrown right where it needs to be thrown, high and away towards the sideline, away from the defender.
There's no doubt that's the way Buddy was going either. He was looking over there to Lassane from the get-go as soon as he got the snap.
Right, that's a called route. Sometimes they'll just use a choice route over there and let Lassane either run the slant or the stop or the fade, depending on how the defensive back's covering him.
After the play and the penalty, now the Cougars are inside the 5-yard line, 1st and goal from about the 4.5.
Going to their double tight, double wing set.
John Deck left side.
Not much over there. Centreville doing a good job of pursuing to the ball. Couldn't get much movement.
Clock at 1:17 to play in the first. We're tied at 0.
Matt, is there another flag down there on the 5?
We think so. Take another look at this last play.
Tried to run the down play. That's a wing T play where everybody blocks down and the guard's trying to kick out.
Face mask against the Wildcats. So now the ball down at about the 1.5 for the Cougars. 1st and goal from the 1.
They may run their wedge here, which they did on the short yardage. Yep, that's what they do.
Everybody in tight.
Oh,
Teschner
no.
tries to get in. No. Stop just short.
Looked like a wedge, but that was their, looked like their midline, and the Teschner kept the ball. Centreville converged very quickly to the ball.
The nose of the football just barely on close to that scoring line. 48 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Now 2nd and goal for the Cougars. Again, everyone in tight.
There's your
Deck
wedge.
straight ahead.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Oakton Cougars.
That was your wedge play. They got a little bit of movement that time.
A well-sustained drive by the Oakton Cougars, mixing the run and the pass effectively, and they go down and are the first ones to put 6 on the scoreboard.
Pretty impressive drive. We're down at the 38 seconds left in the first quarter, so both teams one possession.
Mark Harrell out for the extra point attempt. Jeff Mapp for the hold. Kick is up, and it is wide left. It looked like it went. So with 38 seconds to play in the first quarter, the Oakton Cougars go on top first, score 6-0 over the Centreville Wildcats.
Well, let's see Centreville can answer that. Interesting opening possessions. Both teams able to move the ball.
Yeah. Good turnout here today at South Lakes High School, site of this Division VI Northern Region Championship game. Take another look at the touchdown.
Just straight ahead blocking, man on man. That's where that off-season weight room comes in right there. Both these teams very active in the off-season with their weightlifting programs. Both very competitive in Northern Region powerlifting.
Oakton scoring drive, 12 plays, 70 yards. Buddy Teschner was 2 for 4 passing with 27 yards. He ran 3 carries for 18 yards, and John Deck, the one who punched in the touchdown, had 5 carries for 17 yards.
A big play was the fade to Lassane down there on the sidelines. Got him down inside the 10-yard line. You can see here by Centreville's kickoff turn alignment, they're a little bit concerned about Oakton's onside kick. You can see they're bunched all together on the 50 and the 45, and they'll probably spread out if Oakton spreads out. Let's see.
It's the onside kick they used effectively against Centreville in their previous game.
I think he calls that the mob. I'd hate to be the middle guy.
Yeah, I would too. It's rather intimidating. Harrell with a nice end over end, taken at the 10. Up across.
We'll see him.
Got some room up across the 35 to about the 37.
Lewis Robinson mishandled the first one, but a nice return on that one.
First down, Centreville.
So with 30 seconds to play here in the first, take another look at this kick. To 10, coming over to the right side behind some nice blocks. Found the seam and got it up to the 37, where it's 1st and 10 for the Wildcats now with 30 seconds to play in the first quarter. This is White. This was so effective for them in their first drive. Finally hustled him out of bounds and a flag thrown.
Again, that play was designed to go off tackle. They were trying to kick the end out, block the end out with the fullback, and the White chose to take that outside and use the speed. Again, the Oakton linebackers have got to be prepared for that. It's great.
Personal foul against the Cougars. It was Chad Cooper coming up to make the stop on White to get him out of bounds. So a nice lucky break after a nice run for the Wildcats. They'll mark the ball nice deep inside Oakton territory.
That hurts. Looks like Coach Bendorf on the sideline protesting call a little bit. That's costly on the end of a big run. Let's see if they come back to that. It's just a power that is actually designed to go inside, as I said.
1st and 10 from the Oakton 31 for the Wildcats. This is White, right side.
Same play to the other side. This time, better job of defending the play there. Defensive end over there. I believe that's 55, Dave Sherrick.
Yeah.
Nice job taking on the lead blocker and getting a piece of the ball carrier.
Call it 2nd and 7 now for the Wildcats. And time runs out at the end of the first quarter. Our score, the Oakton Cougars 6, the Centreville Wildcats 0. You're watching the Northern Region Division 6 Football Championships here on Channel 10 Sports. Matt Fetters along with Mark Bendorf and Dave McGinley. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, we'll have winter sports for you coming up here on Channel 10 Sports as we launch into the basketball season once we wrap up with high school football, so be sure to stay with us for that.
Matt, not a lot of surprise that Centreville's having some success moving the ball with Carl Dorr and Brian Bonham, the 2 first-team all-district linemen up front, Mike Williams and number 30, Brian White in the backfield. And that's not to take anything away from Oakton's defense because they're playing okay to this point, but they're going to have to make a stop here pretty soon.
Brian White, 56 yards on 13 carries in the first quarter. Now, in this kind of situation where these two teams know each other so well, is it easier to play somebody you know really well, or is it harder to play somebody you know really well?
I think it's harder, because you're not going to be able to fool them for one thing. This game, because they played week 9, there's not a whole lot of change as to where last year Centreville went into a power I here. Looks like you're just going to try to run the ball.
White around the right side, gets it just short of the 20-yard line.
As I said, Matt, we played them last year twice, but the first ball game we played them, I believe, was the 4th game of the year, and then came back and played them on the 12th, and they had changed quite a bit. They were throwing the ball a lot more, by the regional finals here. These two teams just played a couple weeks ago.
Sherritt and Joe Porter come up here to make the stop as you watch the replay.
Just a power I double tight, and normally a formation that you're just going to run the football. Although you can play action pass out of it.
Officials bring the chains out to measure close to the first down. Good look at it right down there. Oh, whenever you get that camera shot, somebody steps in front of it. Looks like they're going to be just short, are the Wildcats.
I usually get the player's reaction, but...
Yeah, there it is. There you can get a good view. So just inches.
This is actually a pretty good down to try a play action because they've got essentially 2 more downs to make the first if they choose to go that route. But, based on formation, looks like they're going to line up in a power I and try to slam it at them.
McElroy looks back to the scoreboard to check it out. We're at 11:45 here in the second quarter. Oakton up 6-0. The Wildcats are trying to put the equalizer on the board.
Okay, shift into the power eye with Mike Williams in the tailback slot, the big guy.
There is
Normally the
Williams.
fullback.
He's got the first down inside the 20 to about the 19.
It's a double lead with 2 lead blockers from the backfield. You know, Brian White gets a lot of the press in terms of being there. Here you go, see it again. Just an off-tackle play with the 2 lead blockers. But as I was going to say is Williams can really hurt you. He's the one who moves the sticks. He doesn't have the long, flashy runs, but looks like Centreville went into an unbalanced set. Yes, they're unbalanced to their left, and they went sweep away.
White bobbles it, but keeps it in his grasp as he comes around the right side. Touchdown, Centreville Wildcats. A 19-yard touchdown run, Bryant White around the right side.
Got a chance to see his speed and strength. They were formation strong to the field, and went with a toss sweep back to the weak side, and he just dragged the defender the last 3 yards.
We'll probably have another look at it for you after this extra point.
Remember, Oakton missed their extra point, so this is for the go-ahead.
Brian Christensen out for the point after. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 10:58 to play in the first half, the Centreville Wildcats go up by 1 over the Oakton Cougars, 7-6.
You know, Matt, on that toss sweep, I don't know if you saw it, but White mishandled the pitch a little bit. Took him a second to regain control, and then you could see how explosive he was.
Well, we thought this was going to be a close one, and it's definitely living up to its billing. Centreville taking home the Concord District crown. 5 plays, 63 yards. White with 4 carries for 44 yards, culminating in that 19-yard touchdown run.
You know, usually when a team goes into the power eye like that, especially on the 20 or 25-yard line, they feel like they've got a physical advantage, and they're just going to pound it at you. They're not going to worry about trying to spread you out by formation, not trying to trick you. Just think that they physically can get it done. Be interesting to see on their next possession if they use the power eye or go back to their eye.
Christensen tees the ball up. He has the wind at his back. Wind blowing from left to right on your television screen, a little bit at an angle. Taking it about the 12. Up across the 30 to the 31. Darnell Morris.
Pretty good field position. Let's see if Oakton can answer that drive.
Well, it took Centreville 2 drives to get in the end zone. Oakton did it on their first drive. So let's see what Buddy Teschner and company can put together with 10:51 to go in the first half, down by 1, 7-6.
Big play in that drive was the off tackle that bounced and then was aided by the personal foul at the end, and then of course the touchdown.
Deck with 1 receiver split way up to his right side.
Waggle.
Teschner looking to his right, going down. Fired it over the top of the closest receiver was Matt Germroth. Falls incomplete.
He had Deck open there at about 5 yards on the drag route, but elected to go deep. Centreville had the tight end covered pretty well.
Now, throughout this whole season, Buddy Teschner has received so much press and publicity, and he's deserved it so well. When you get to a game like this, is there any fear that he might try to do too much by himself?
Well, you know, he's the guy that's got him here to an extent, and he's got to play well.
Yep, 2nd and 10, Deck straight ahead. And when I say do too much, a perfect example, instead of going to Deck, who's only 5 yards downfield, he goes for the deeper guy, and they don't get it.
It's possible, but I think he's the type of kid that's just got so much confidence that you know, he's going to take a certain amount of chances there.
3rd and 9 now for the Cougars. 10:22 to play in the first half.
Might see our first punt if Oakton's unable to pick up this 3rd down. We saw last week against Lake Braddock, Oakton very effective in the long yardage situations. Here he spreads his formation out, Got the double slot with one back.
And one receiver to either side. Lots of pressure. Teschner dropped at the 25. Who was that? 23 coming in. Cardell Richardson to make the sack.
Lot of pressure there. Teschner never had a chance to set up. Centreville very quick off the edge.
So Jeff Mapp now in to punt the ball away for the Oakton Cougars. He's kicking into a wind that right now has settled down just a tad. Not quite as gusty as it was before the game, but that flag is starting to kick up a little again. We'll see how Jeff gets this away.
Good punt.
Yep, nice high spiral, hangs up there.
White, very dangerous as a punt returner. They've got to get down and wrap him up, which
and
they do.
Do just that, and they drop him at the 36, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats with 9:16 to play in the first half. Up by 1, 7-6.
So Centerville's defense answered that time. Did not allow first down. You know, Matt, a lot's been said this week about the history of teams who have lost in the regional final and coming back the next year and winning it. And, of course, that was true with us and with Chantilly the year before and going back to Annandale in '93.
Of course, we're referring to the Centreville team that was defeated last year in the Northern Region Championship, and they're back again this year as White gets it up to the 40 for a gain of 4.
Definitely White's who they want with the ball, at least thus far. How many carries does he have, Dave? 16 carries already, and we've 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. That's a game for some backs.
Yeah, he's getting his workout. McElroy with 2 receivers down to his right side.
There's a counter.
Here comes White around the right. Dave Sherritt there to hold on to him and spin him down to the ground. Gain of maybe 1.
Very good job of Sherritt at the end there. They were pulled the backside guard and tackle, and that's what you want to do on a counter. You want to string it out, make it go to the sidelines, not get vertical. Here it is again. You'll see the guard and tackle pulling, the end 55 taking it on, and then getting sideways. And he got some help from Kevin Haddon. That was well defensed. 3rd and 5.
Yep.
Big down right here.
1 receiver up high, 1 down low. Fake to White. McElroy going back in White's direction. White falls down on the play, and they throw a flag on it as the pass falls incomplete.
That's what's known as a waggle throwback. He was waggling to the right or booting to the right and then turned to throw it back against the way he was going. Actually well covered. You know, that's the type of play a lot of times you lose sight of that guy and he's wide open. But the officials thought there was a little bit too much contact there. Here it is again. You'll see the fake right there to White, and he's kind of sneaking out.
Look up the top of your screen. You can see him go down. I didn't see the interference.
Yeah, it's a judgment call. But they're in a better position than we are.
Put so well. Put so politically correctly. 7:59 to play in the first half. Centreville keeps their drive alive. Now 1st and 10 from the 45 of Oakton. White again around the right side, but again wrapped up by the Oakton Cougars.
You know, that was that power or off tackle play, and it ended up getting bounced again. Number 59, Joe Porter for Oakton, did a good job of keeping his feet, keeping his ground, and forcing it to go lateral. Only gained a yard.
2nd and 9 now for the Wildcats. 7:31 to play here in the first half. Clock rolling along. Centreville got a 1-point lead, 7-6. 2 receivers up to the left side for McElroy. Williams, correction, that is Willis Dixon, the ball carrier, inside the 40 to about the 39.
Just a straight dive, you get an idea of the kind of backfield players that Centerville's got. I mean, Dixon comes in, makes a nice, tough inside run for a gain of 4. It's nothing fancy, just straight ahead.
3rd and about 4.5 now for the Wildcats.
He's spreading his formation out, goes to a 1-back set. He's twins left, pro right. 3-step drop with cut blocking.
Looks right, and he's got White on the right side. Inside the 35, it looks like they'll mark it, and it looks like he'll have enough for another first down, and he does. So the Wildcats methodically moving their way down the field.
Just a short timing pattern there, and of course that's pretty dangerous for Oakton, because you missed the tackle on that, and he goes.
As we saw last week, though, the Cougars, they bend but don't always break. So we'll see if the defense stiffens up as the Wildcats get closer and down here.
Okay, that was the counter, and that one they were able to get vertical. Oakton was not able to spread that one out.
White gets it down just short of the 25-yard line. Bring up second.
Okay, here it is again from the offset backfield. There's the backside guard pulling. They got the kick-out block. They got the seam.
Richie Comerford coming over to make the stop for the Cougars. Now 2nd and 2 for the Wildcats. Kilroy wants a timeout.
Timeout, Centreville.
What did he see that provoked that?
I'm not sure. He may have had something over there to the twin side and didn't like what he saw, or possibly weren't lined up right. You know, a lot of times you don't want to risk making a big mistake down here when you got the ball moving, and you know, you don't want to give them a chance.
5:43 to play in the first half as this Division VI championship is being played here at the home of the South Lake Seahawks. 19 carries so far for Bryant White, 95 yards, and we're not even through the first half.
I think the regional record for carries, I believe, is around 40. It's in the program.
I was going to say, it's in that program somewhere.
And I know that a couple years ago, Sullivan for West Potomac had quite a few carries in a playoff game. And then going all the way back to 1973, Peyton Bailey, Marshall versus Annandale, was around 40 carries.
2nd and about 1.5 now for the Wildcats. McElroy with one man up to his left. Here comes Brian White.
Well defense, just a toss sweep. Oakton able to get lateral.
Ian Wade again leading the charge for the Cougars.
He also had Kimner getting over from his middle linebacker position.
Bring up 3rd and a little less than a yard for the Wildcats. .5:17 clock rolling along. 5:17 left in the first half.
3rd and short.
Big play on both sides of the ball.
Although I imagine Centerville's thinking 2 plays here.
Dixon again inside the 20. He'll have the first down.
Well, they got a nice line surge that time over on the left side there. Brian Bonham, their best offensive lineman, number 68, was 63 earlier in the year, I believe.
So yet another first down for the Centerville Wildcats right at the 20-yard line of the Oakton Cougars. 4:38 to play here in the first half. Timeout called down on the field by the Centerville Wildcats. As they now approach the red zone, they want to take a little extra time and figure the way how they're going to go about this. That's the Wildcat band making their way out onto the field.
You can see that Centerville's not real fancy offensively, but they don't need to be. They've got good skill in the backfield, and you know, they've got a good offensive line. I said earlier in the year that I thought this was a better Centerville team in some respects than the team they had last year. Don't have some of the same marquee type players, but you know, they've got 3 very capable backs and a good offensive line that plays well together, and they're aggressive on defense. This is definitely the best Oakton team that they've had in years.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line of the Oakton Cougars now. This is White.
Kimner and Sherritt.
Yep.
Showing a little bit of excitement. Kimner 2nd in the state in the 171-pound class wrestling. He looked like he used one of his takedown moves there. He's a big physical guy. Said he's about 30 pounds heavier than he was during wrestling season.
I think it's 2nd and 10 now for the Wildcats. Clock rolling along, 4:03 to play in the first half.
Offset backfield.
McElroy with 2 receivers sends one in motion back up to the top. Fake to White. Lots of pressure, but he eludes it and flicks it to the end zone.
Oh, nice catch.
Yes, touchdown, Centreville Wildcats.
That was their waggle, the one that they tried the throwback on. This time they went play side with it.
I believe, who is it, 35 or 30, 36. Matt Mulhern pulls it in. Take another look at this touchdown.
McElroy does a nice job right here of avoiding the sack right there and then stayed with it.
Good coverage by the Cougars, but Mulhern was able to pull it in.
It was a good catch, well thrown ball.
So after Christensen's extra point with 3:42 to play in the first half, it's the Centreville Wildcats 14, the Oakton Cougars 6.
It'll be real important now for Oakton to answer with a good offensive possession. You know, Matt, that's something that we talked about before we went on, that Centreville will lull you a little bit with that running game, and then they'll come back with a play-action passing. They're capable in the passing game. Don't like to do it a whole lot, but when they do, it's pretty effective.
Yeah, they can. So much like their first meeting this year, the Wildcats get out in front of these Oakton Cougars now with 3:42 remaining in the first half.
They cannot move the car because they can't move the bus because of the car.
You can see the dimension that Sam McElroy gives Centreville on being able to avoid the rush there. Very dangerous.
Taken back at the 10-yard line, Kevin Haddon. Nice return up across the 25 to the 30. 10 plays, 64-yard scoring drive for the Centreville Wildcats. Brian White, 6 carries for 15 yards. McElroy was 2 for 2 for 25 yards. And it was Mulhern with the 20-yard touchdown reception in the end zone.
You know, for most teams, time would be a factor here, at least in this half, but we've seen Teschner go down 30 seconds and take them half the length of the field. And I imagine they'll be pretty patient here, run their offense. Oh, loose
Fumble.
ball.
Looks like Harrell covered it up, though.
That was the option there. Oakton's got the 3 timeouts. So they're not in any hurry just yet. There you see the play again. There's your midline option. Had a little bit of a seam. Just Centreville did a good job of closing.
I think he was trying to reach out for an extra yard with the ball, and that's when he lost control.
Yep.
2nd and 7, we'll call it now for the Cougars. 2:57 to play in the first half. Down 14-6. Teschner tries to shoot it out to the right-hand side, but he couldn't quite get it to Ryan Harn, and it falls incomplete.
That's a 3-step hitch. Just missed it. But if you're going to miss it, you want to miss that wide, not inside. Oakton would like to pick up this first down, because if not, Centreville's going to get the ball back with plenty of time. So this 3rd down is huge right here.
3rd and 7 for Teschner and company.
He takes timeout.
Wants a timeout. Coach Pete Bendorf will come out and have a little chat with his offense.
Sometimes the things you have to deal with your offense is if your defense is struggling a little bit on stopping them, the offense puts more pressure on itself, because they start to feel like if they don't take it down there and score or get points, that they're looking at being behind by even more.
Right.
It's kind of interesting sometimes how the emotions work. The defense can get that way too when the offense is going 3 and out. But both these teams are pretty veteran, and you know, I don't imagine they'll panic, and not at this point.
Oakton back up to the line of scrimmage. One receiver way up to the right. Teschner flicks it over the middle. This is John Deck. Got the first down and a whole lot more. Down inside the 40 to about the third. Well, they're going to mark it right at the 40.
Beautiful call, nice call. Roll to the right, throw back screen to the left. Very well executed.
Worked just like you draw it up on the chalkboard.
Yeah, absolutely. Here you go, Centreville crowd in the line of scrimmage. Screens can be very effective against teams that bring the linebackers quite a bit.
After the 27-yard play, it's now 1st and 10 at the 40. This is Teschner. Finally, the pitch to Harrell. He's got a first down. He gets it down inside the 25.
That was the veer option. Gets a ride to the back there, and then Teschner, great job of pitching the ball late.
And after the screen, the Cougars coming right back with their bread and butter, want to hit the Wildcats hard and fast.
Here it is again now. You got Teschner, 2 and 1, 2 out on 1.
1st and 10 from the 24-yard line through 2:32 to play in the first half.
Option again, this time with the give. Plenty of time left.
Deck straight ahead, gain of about a 2.
This would be a great emotional boost for Oakton to get the ball in here, and of course they would have to go for 2 with the score at 14-6 in an attempt to try to get even. Of course, that might be a little premature. They still got to go 22 yards.
2nd and 8 for the Cougars. Teschner was one receiver way out to his left-hand side. Going right.
There's the fade.
Lassane broken up. Covered nicely over there on the right-hand side. Mark Glenn for Centreville broke it up.
A little bit underthrown. Want to throw that high and to the sideline. Let Lassane use his size and go get the ball. It's just a little thrown, a little bit inside.
Lassane looked like he still went up there, though, with full confidence that he was going to make that catch, no problem.
Absolutely. And when you got 34 catches on the year, you expect that.
Now 3rd and 8 for the Cougars.
Option.
Here we come around the left side. Stopped back at the 22-yard line.
Boy, you saw the ability of Lewis Robinson there, number 31, to recover, because it looked like Oakton had the corner on the option, but Centreville, with the speed advantage, was able to recover, and that brings up a 4th and 7.
Take another look. Mike Biarno on the pitch.
Nice open field tackle, head across the front. Big call right here. 4th and 8, I guess.
Yep, about 7.5, 8. And the Cougars want to take a little extra time.
That's a second timeout.
1:19 remaining in the first half. Cougars trying to get the equalizer now, down 14-6. Nice sunny day here in Western Virginia at South Lakes High School, hosting this Division VI Northern Region Championship, and we're glad you're along with us here on Channel 10 Sports.
Field's in a little better shape than it was this time last year.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Yeah, they did a great job here at South Lakes High School. Had the field covered during the rains of last night, and it's bone dry out there.
They do a great job putting on this. Very well organized. They've got people positioned all over the place, parking lots, and you know, the field is in beautiful shape. They take care of the teams.
Fourth and 7 for the Oakton Cougars.
It's in his double slot formation.
Teschner looks out to his right. He's got Lassane, made the catch.
Touchdown.
Yep. Touchdown, Oakton Cougars.
Wow.
Sean Lassane made the catch and then made the run.
That was big right there.
Just when the Centreville Wildcats thinking they might be sitting in the driver's seat, the Cougars come right back and are now just a couple points away from tying this up.
Fairly simple play, just a timing pattern, and a nice run after the catch. Now, as we said, he's got to go for 2 here. They might half back past this.
Yep,
That's
John
what he's
Jack.
trying to do, yeah.
Nope.
You could see Lassane over there. They were trying to do their chest pass there.
Ian Reynolds came up to make the stop. So with 1:11 to play in the first half, Centreville stays on top, 14-12. Take another look at the touchdown.
See, just a simple stop route, and nice run after the catch. Mark Glenn elected to go for the ball, and that's one of those that you generally coach the defender. If you can make a play on the ball, go ahead and step in front. If you can't, stay on the upfield side and at least make the tackle. But you got to make a split-second decision there, and that's much easier said than done.
We talked about how quickly the Cougars can move down the field. That drive was 8 plays, 70 yards. Teschner was 2 of 4 for 48 yards. And, of course, it was Lassane on the 21-yard touchdown pass.
The other big play there was the screen play.
Yep, the John Deck 27-yard play.
Right. But that was a 4th and 8 to they converted the touchdown. Teschner's just got so much confidence, and of course Coach Bendorf's got so much confidence in him that they're not afraid to try anything at any time on any position of the field. We saw them last week against Lake Braddock on their own 1-yard line throw that very same route and pick up the first down. I don't know whether he'll kick it deep here. Appears that Centreville's still in their tight formation. Here they go spreading it out as Oakton spreads out. Probably try to kick it on the ground. Definitely do not want to kick it to Brian White.
They are kicking into that wind, which is coming down a little bit.
Squib kick.
Down right there at about the 37-yard line. Rob Lane covering it up for the Centreville Wildcats. So the Wildcats will have 1:09 remaining here in the first half, and they have a 2-point lead, 14-12 over the Oakton Cougars.
It'll be interesting to see whether Centreville tries to get it down here and score, or is content to go in with 14-12. I suspect they'll take at least one shot. Well, here they're lined up in the power I. Motion out of it.
Coming around the left-hand side, gain of a few. Aaron Torres, the ball carrier.
Little counter out of the power I.
Second and about 4 now for the Wildcats. Clock rolling along. 43 seconds to play in the first half. Williams, Sherritt there.
Oh, loose ball.
Yep. Picked up by the Cougars. No whistles.
Official signal come
They
back.
are going to whistle it back. Scooping up the ball, Kevin Haddon, after Sherritt pried it loose.
Well, that's one of those, and we're inside in the press box here with the windows down, but basically it comes down to whether the official blew the whistle or not. Here we get another look at it.
Williams comes around. Sherritt just pries it loose.
That's a loose ball right there.
Should be Oakton football, but the officials say otherwise. As time expires, the Wildcats are happy they dodge the bullet, and they come out with a 2-point lead at the end of the first half of play. It's the Cougars 12, the Wildcats 14, and Mark Bendorf very quickly, if you're on either side of that score, what are you telling your kids at halftime?
Well, I think Oakton probably feels pretty good about the way they're going into halftime. Given the fact they were down 14-6 with 3.5 minutes to go and drove the ball down there and got a score. And what he's got to do is get in and got to talk to his defense, and they've got to line up here and stop the Centreville run and then not get caught out of position on the play-action pass.
And if you're Centreville Wildcats?
Well, I think what you're doing offensively, you just got to keep doing. And, defensively, I think they've got to just tell their players that they've got to be patient and not try to take too many chances.
So there it is as we adjourn for halftime. It's a 2-point Centreville Wildcat lead. You're watching the Division VI Northern Region Championship here on Channel 10 Sports. A 2-point Centreville Wildcat lead as we are getting ready to start the second half of play. Matt Fetters along with Mark Bendorf and Dave McGinley. And Dave has stepped into the headsets here to give us our first half stats. Dave, what do you got for us?
Okay, for the Oakton Cougars for the first half, let's do the passing game first. They have 75 yards through the air. Buddy Teschner is 4 for 9 for 75 yards. Sean Lassane had 3 receptions. The big one was the 21-yard touchdown reception in their second touchdown drive of the half. And John Deck had 1 big reception for 27 yards that kept the sticks moving during that drive. On the ground, they had 57 total yards. Deck had 7 carries for 20 yards. Mark Harrell had 1 for 16. Mike Biordino had 1 for 1. And Buddy Teschner had 5 carries for 14 yards. Okay, for the Centreville Wildcats at the half, they had 27 yards through the air. They're getting it done on the ground, but let's go over the passing stats first. Sam McElroy was 3 for 4 for 27 yards. Brian White had 1 reception for 5 yards. Sean Diggs had 1 reception for 2 yards. And Matt Mulhern had that nice catch in the end zone, 20-yarder for the touchdown from McElroy. On the ground, you have Mike Williams with 3 carries for 8 yards. Willis Dixon had 2 touches for 9 yards. Sean Diggs had 1 carry for 4 yards. And Bryant White, I think he had half a season in the first half. He had 21 carries for 96 yards. I say look for more of him in the second half, and let's go back to the coach.
Thanks, Dave. As we switch the headsets over, we're getting ready to kick off to start the second half. As we said, it's a 14-12 Centreville Wildcat lead as we get a fresh 12 minutes on the clock. And Dave Christensen gets that kick away. Taken up at the 19-yard line by the Cougars. Gets it up to about the 30-yard line. Let's take a look at the way the first half ended at the play that we think looked like a fumble up here, but the officials said was not.
Power Eye just running the double kick out. Right there, you can see Sherritt rip that ball out. From our viewpoint, it does appear to be a fumble.
Hadden called back as he had nothing between he and the end zone but the grass. Harrell around the right side for the Cougars, caught in the backfield and dropped for a loss.
That's just a quick pitch, trying to outrun the end there, weren't able to do it. We got a Centreville player down.
Rob Lane came up to make the stop for the Wildcats, as there will be a timeout now as they attend to the injured Centreville Wildcat.
You know, Matt, I got a chance to talk to my brother there coming onto the field, and asked him what his thoughts were on the first half, and he said one thing concerned him is defensively that they're not doing a very good job on first down in particular, and they want to get Centreville off rhythm so that they're in long yardage situations, and they haven't had great success at that. Feels pretty confident, I think, with what's going on offensively for the most part.
As they still attend to the down Centreville Wildcat. Can't tell who the number is down there. We'll let you know as soon as we can figure it out up here. And I want you to know, Mark, we put a different headset on there for you, so hopefully you'll have better luck with that one than the one you had in the first half.
Well, I kind of like the music in the other one. Yeah, this sounds much better.
Oh, good.
Thought maybe you're doing that on purpose,
hopefully.
though. Cut my mic off, and then we're really in business. I'll just get a popcorn and a Coke.
Some of that freshman hazing up here in the broadcast booth.
Could be. Let's see. Looks
I think it
like
might be number 4,
Mark Glenn.
Steve Sumption is down on the sideline. Let's go see what he's got for us.
Hi, you guys. We're down here on the sideline. We got a real exciting game going on here. We had Oakton starting out with the quick touchdown. Centreville stormed back with 2 more. And then right before the end of the half, on a fantastic 4th down play, Oakton comes back and pulls it to within 2. So we're looking forward to a big second half here. We also got to thank the ladies from the Reston Boosters Club, Dottie Guthrie and Ella Lee, for feeding us today and for feeding all the media. We want to thank them very much. They kept us warm. They gave us something to eat, and we really appreciate that. Back up to you guys in the booth.
Rule number 1 of broadcasting, always thank the people who feed you.
Probably applies to more than broadcasting. That was Mark Glenn that was taken off, senior defensive back for Centreville. There's your counter.
This is Mark Harrell across the 30 to about the 31, just back to the original line of scrimmage.
Oakton trying to take advantage of Centreville being very aggressive there on defense, trying to get a seam back away from the flow.
Call it 3rd and 10 now for the Oakton Cougars. Mark Harrell last week in that victory against Lake Braddock, 3 carries, 23 yards for the Cougars. So it is 3rd and 10 for the Cougars as Teschner brings his team up to the line. One receiver way out to the left side, one up to the right. 10:50 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Teschner goes to his left. No one there. The receiver curled in, and it looked like Buddy expected him to be out.
Yeah, he was with his trips formation here to this side and just miscommunicated there. You know, first downs, Centreville had 9 the first half, Oakton 5, almost twice as many. That's, 9 first downs, quite a bit. They're going to have to slow down that production, Oakton is, to get a few more possessions, and then Centreville needs to keep doing what they're doing.
Jeff Mapp to kick it away for the Cougars. End over end. Should take a nice Cougar roll, and it does. Down inside the 40 at about the 37, where for the Wildcats will take over 1st and 10 at their own 37 with 10:36 to play in the 3rd, up by 2, 14-12.
That was a good defensive series there for Centreville. Didn't give them anything. Tried the quick pitch on 1st down and weren't able. Rob Lane, 99 for Centreville, kept him turning the corner, and then 2 good stops on 2nd and 3rd down. Incomplete ball on 3rd down.
McElroy on 1st and 10. 2 receivers way out to his right-hand side. This is White around the left. Cougars come up to stop him after a gain of about 3.
Toss sweep into the short side of the field there, away from the Twins. If you recall the start of the game, they were running the toss sweep to the Twins side. Went back weak that time.
Mark, when you're playing a game like this, in the first half, there was so much emotion. Everybody's so fired up, ready for this game. Is it hard to get your team restarted, re-fired up after you come out after taking the break at halftime?
There's so much riding on it where the winner of this game is going to go to the state semis that, I don't think that
White again,
throw the ball.
Yep, White down's got the open receiver. Yep. He was looking back into the sun, and he was also losing his footing, and he couldn't pull the pass in.
J.P. Gary.
Yep.
They definitely set that up. They've been running a lot of toss sweep, opened up on 1st down with the toss sweep. Probably were looking downfield to see what was here. You got to look at it.
Again, White with a little trouble with the exchange.
Still had him.
Boy.
Not a bad throw.
Not at all. Yep, right through his arms. So 3rd and 7 now. 9:49 to go in the 3rd quarter. And the Wildcats want a timeout.
Lined up unbalanced into the boundary. He had Twins and the tight end over to his left. The only thing over to this side was the tackle. We'd seen him run the sweep out of that and the power. But Matt, to finish answering your question as far as the emotion, at this point it kind of settles down and just becomes a slugfest, so to speak. But the intensity level, and you'll see it pick up actually as it gets closer to the end of the game. These players know what's at stake. These coaches know what's at stake. There's a lot of work that's gone into this. They're in week 12 of the regular season, and of course that doesn't include the 4 weeks of preseason. They've been out a long time, since August, and for the seniors out here, and only a very small percentage of them will go on and play college football. For a lot of them, this is the last time they'll put on the helmet, and you constantly remind them of that, and I think that's why we're seeing such a good ball game. Okay, now he comes out with the Twins, but the tight end is here to the field.
3rd and 7 for the Wildcats. At their own 40-yard line, lots of movement in that backfield, and they do throw the flag. This is White around the right side.
That was going to be the counter with the guard and tackle pulling from the left side. As you said, Matt, the fullback moved a little early. Okay, so both teams punt on their first possessions.
Motion call on Centreville, 4th
Let's see if Oakton puts some pressure on this kick. They had some success last week, blocked a punt. Yeah, they're coming hard up the middle, but Centreville does a good job of protection.
They take it back at their own 18-yard line. Loose footing and goes down as the man trying to bring that ball back up, Richie Comerford, and there's a flag down way back in the area of where the punt occurred.
Holding on the punt team, I believe. Imagine he'll back him up, make him punt again. Yeah.
Give him another chance to come after this punt.
Well, that and try to get at least a little better field position. They're backed up inside the 20.
So Centreville, who had a pretty error-free first half, now 2 penalties in a row. And it'll march them back to their own, inside their own 30 at about the 29. With 9:24 to play in the third quarter. A 2-point lead for the Centreville Wildcats. We're playing for the Northern Region Division 6 championship. Big high kick again. This time they let it bounce. Takes a nice Oakton bounce. And it'll be down at about the 32-yard line where the Cougars will take over.
Gained about 10 or 11 yards, I'd say, on that re-kick.
Centreville coach Dan Folio quoted in the newspapers as saying that Buddy Teschner was their #1 concern, that he drives the Oakton bus. Well, we'll see how Buddy the bus driver does now as he brings his Cougars out 1st and 10 from their own 31. 9:06 to play in the third, down by 2 points. That's Harrell in motion. Give is to Deck, gain of about 2.
Looked to be the veer to the strong side with the give, obviously.
Gain of about 1, and we'll call it 1. Make it 2nd and 9 now for the Cougars. Lassane way up to the right-hand side for Teschner. And that's the direction Buddy goes. He's got Lassane again, and he's got a first down. The exact same pass play they scored on, and Lassane brings it in and gets enough for a first down up to about the 40. It looks like they're going to mark it at about the 48-yard line.
He's such a big, strong receiver. You know, I think Centreville knew it was coming. Here you get a chance to see it. It's going to be to his right. He's looking at him the whole way. He just went and got the ball. And again, Mark Glenn attempting to go for the ball there.
A little bit of a height advantage to Lassane. This is Deck right up the gut. Gain of about 4.
That's what he needs on first down right there. That's what he was talking about. That gives him gain of 5, puts it in second and 5. A little better than being 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10. So got what he wanted on first down.
Teschner now, receiver up to his right-hand side. On 2nd and 5. Mark Harrell met in the backfield, but he does a pretty good job of getting a couple of yards to get back up to close to the line of scrimmage.
First time we've seen that play, Matt. Buck sweep. It's a wing T play, and Centreville is so quick laterally. Not a real effective play there. They're able to recover very quickly. Here you'll see a fake to the fullback, both guards pulling, give to the halfback. Just nothing there.
Ian Reynolds in to slow things down for the Wildcats. Now on 3rd and 5. Teschner again to Lassane. Oh, almost had it. Still bobbling it as he came down, but it falls incomplete.
That was your fade. And again, Teschner put the ball right where he needed to. Just Shane couldn't come up with that one.
So make it 4th and 5. Jeff Mapp out to punt for the Oakton Cougars with 7:12.
Nobody deep for Centreville here.
Centreville playing for the fake, or not thinking that Mapp can pooch this. And it'll roll out of bounds at about the 16-yard line and mark it up to about the 17-yard line. So explain that one to me, Coach Bendorf.
A little surprise there, and Centreville, I think, dodged a bullet a little bit by, you know, they'll get the ball in about the 16-yard line, but without putting anybody back there at all, they run the risk of that thing being knocked out inside the 5-yard line. It may be that they just didn't want to risk mishandling the punt. I'm not exactly sure. Sometimes you see that tactic at the end of the game.
McElroy, a quarterback for the Wildcats. One receiver out to his right-hand side, 1st and 10 from their own 16-yard line. I believe that's White up just short of the 20-yard line.
It's a lead play.
You've been using that term a lot. What do you mean exactly by a lead play?
It's the fullback is the lead blocker for the tailback or halfback, sometimes referred to as an isolation. You're trying to isolate the linebacker with the fullback. Sometimes people in one-back sets will lead block with a wingback or another lineman. It's a pretty common play for Centreville, as is the toss sweep.
Here comes White on 2nd and 8, working his way back across the middle. Finally coming over, Kyle Rodeker to make the stop.
Outstanding run by Brian White. Oakton in position, missed some tackles. Brian showing you his strength. You know, Matt, we were talking earlier, the regional record for carries is 43 by Clint Sullivan. That was West Potomac versus Madison, 1996. And he's got to be up 25 carries.
1st and 10 now at the 36 for Centreville. White again, right side. Sherritt up there to help out on the stop for the Cougars.
Sherritt did a real good job there. They were trying to run the kick out or the power play, kick the end out, and Sherritt basically shedding the lead block and then also getting in on the tackle.
2nd and about 6.5 now for the Wildcats. 5:33 to play in the 3rd quarter. 14-12, Wildcats lead. White left.
Uh-oh.
Watch out.
Yep, could be trouble.
Finally coming up, Richie Comerford to make the touchdown-saving tackle for the Oakton Cougars.
It's a pretty simple off-tackle play, but it bounced wide as it has all day long. Here you get a chance to see it. See the lead blocker right there with a kick out, and actually didn't bounce out. They did get the kick out block, and then Brian White just headed for the sideline.
Good pursuit, Haddon and Comerford. White now 163 yards on the day. 1st and 10 now from the 20-yard line of the Cougars for McElroy and company. White now coming around the right side. Sherritt there on the stop, and a flag is thrown. You'd think that maybe Brian White's got to start getting tired here at some point.
A lot of game left.
Well, he has that nice big run down the left, and then they come right back to him. It looked like he was missing about a half a step there on that run.
Well, Sherritt's made a lot of tackles. We're not tabulating tackles up here,
yeah.
But he's playing a good game to this point.
A holding call against the Wildcats is the penalty. That'll take them back to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 20 now for the Wildcats with 4:44 clock rolling along to go here in the 3rd quarter. 1st and a boatload for the Wildcats. McElroy looks over to his right.
Going for Gary.
Couldn't hold on to it. Nice defense over there. Ian Wade for the Cougars.
Just a seam route. Just trying to run the receiver straight down the field. And the ball pretty well thrown.
Most of the pass plays that we've seen today, the ball has been where it's supposed to be.
3-step drop. He's looking all the way. Pretty much on the money.
Yep. So now 2nd and 20 for the Wildcats. Still at the Oakton 30-yard line. This is White, right side. Just trying to fit in behind the blocking wall, and he'll pick up about 2 or 3.
Oakton doing a great job there, stringing it out. That's the way you want to defend the sweep play. keep your shoulders square and not give the back any seam to turn up vertical. Run him to the sidelines, and that's what they were able to do with a short gain.
Now 3rd and 18 for the Wildcats. 4:24 to play in the third quarter.
This is right here, a big call, 3rd and long.
McElroy up the line, 3rd and a bunch now for the Wildcats. One receiver up to his left as he sends another in motion in that direction. Just eludes the oncoming rush, but then is spun out of bounds at about the 26-yard line.
That's going to bring up 4th down. Would be about 45-yard field goal from here, 46 if they elected to do that. Not going to gain much by punting from the 26. So
the wind is somewhat with them. It's kind of coming from, here's another look at this last play.
See McElroy pretty slippery.
Here Ridley finally coming up to make the stop. There was lots of pressure being applied by Joe Porter.
He's got Hagan in at tight end here on the right.
Trying to sneak it back up the middle. Sherritt is there with a host of other Oakton Cougars, and they make the big stop. Big defensive play by the Oakton Cougars, and they'll take over 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line with 4:11 to play in the third period.
That was a big stop right there. Sherritt again, I believe, right?
Yep. Who else was up there with him? I think it was somebody in the 60s. So Teschner brings his Cougars out 1st and 10 from their own 28, and he'll come out throwing. And he's hustled down by a host of Wildcat defenders, and there's also a flag on the play.
I think that was Hagan off the edge there. Something they've been doing this game is lining him up and bringing him hard off the end as opposed from his linebacker position. And we got the holding, so that'll back him up. Not what Coach Bendorf wanted on 1st down. Declined. Interesting.
Yeah. The Wildcats showing some supreme confidence in their defense by declining the penalty.
Okay.
2nd and 12 now for the Cougars. Clock rolling, 3:52 to play in the third. A 2-point lead for the Wildcats. Deck. And right there, it looked like the Wildcat defense standing up to the challenge.
Didn't get the down blocks, just trying to run the off tackle down. We've seen it before from trips, and weren't able to cut off the pursuit. Centreville, as we said, very good at going laterally on defense.
3rd and 11 now for the Cougars, but this has been when they've been dangerous, last week and this week. 3rd and long.
Might be a place to try that screen.
Lassane way down to the left. That's the way Teschner looks. Trying to get it out to Mark Harrell, but a little too far out in front.
That one he just missed.
So bring up 4th down for the Cougars. Out comes Jeff Mapp to punt.
Now this time they do put White back. Of course, different position on the field.
Could be great field position for the Wildcats. Mapp gets it away into the wind. Takes a nice bounce. They'll down it at about the 46-yard line where the Wildcats will take over with 2:57 to play in the third quarter.
I think Oakton a little leery of kicking to White after the first ball game where he, in the second half, I believe it was, returned a punt to break that thing open.
Up come the Centreville Wildcats, 1st and 10 at their own 46 with 2:57 to play in the third, up by 2 points. McElroy looking to throw and dropped for a loss back at about the 39-yard line.
They were trying to run the hitch and go, had Brian White on the sideline, but Oakton again with the strong pass rush.
So after Centreville shows what their defense can do, here come the Oakton Cougars.
There's your pump.
I can't make out who it was.
Done a great job of rushing the passer off the ends.
Second and a bunch for the Wildcats, 2nd and 15. White right up the middle across the 45 to the 46.
Back to their bread and butter, the lead play. And pick up about 5.
Make it 3rd and 10 now. Two minutes to play here in the third quarter. McElroy with 2 receivers split down to his right-hand side. White
Missed tackle.
across the 50 down to the 48.
Troy Bulk missed the tackle there in the backfield. That was the unbalanced lead. Twins this way with a tight end also this way. He's trying to get an extra blocker. Brings up punting situation. Teams exchange punts.
So the Oakton Cougar defense answers with their own defensive stand, and the Wildcats will have to kick it away. Line drive. Takes him back
He's
at the
back
5-yard line.
So don't clip.
Here we come up the right side. Looked like there might have been a little face mask on it as Darnell Morris scooted it up the right-hand side.
Well, Darnell did a good job of getting it out of there. Normally you don't want to field those punts inside the 10. But sometimes you don't know exactly where you are.
Got it back up across the 15 to about the 17. Teschner brings the Cougars up, 1 receiver way down to his left-hand side. Centreville Wildcats are there to stop him at the line.
Running the option, I believe that's the end, Rob Lane.
Had Biarno trailing, but it looked like Buddy was going to keep it all the way. 44 seconds to go here in the third quarter as the Oakton Cougars are trying to put a drive together that will put them ahead. Now on 2nd and 11. Deck straight ahead, hit hard, fumble.
Big break for Centreville, getting the ball 20-yard line.
Centreville football with 25 seconds to go in the third quarter.
You know, interesting second half. The first half, nobody's defense could stop anybody.
Yep.
And now second half, nobody's been able to move the ball. Of course, Oakton turning it over here deep. Here you get a chance to see it was a trap. Boy, big hit.
Yeah.
I believe that was Drew Manning, 55. Player of the year in the Concord.
Either that or Mike Ripley, 56.
Yeah, could have been. Power eye, double tight.
McElroy on 1st and 10. White left side. Gets around the corner. Gain of about 5 or 6.
Great effort by Richie Comerford, the defensive back for the Cougars there. He had 2-3 blockers on him, and you know, his job's to turn that thing in, not let it turn the corner, and keep the gain to a minimum. They had a lot of folks out there.
So now 2nd and about 5 for the Wildcats at the Oakton 15-yard line.
Quarterback keeper all the way.
McElroy around the right side. Met, though, right as he got across the line of scrimmage. Troy Bulk coming up to make the stop for the Cougars.
Centreville just trying to get a lot of people out in front of them. They're unbounced, power eye, and put a back in motion. And trying to get the blocks on the corner. Weren't quite able to do it. Brings up the 3rd and short. Here it is. You can see the unbounce. All the blockers to his right. This is run all the way. There's nobody out in route.
And time has expired here in the third quarter. We've got 12 minutes to go before we crown the Division VI Northern Region champ. We're going to take a real quick timeout to change tapes. You're watching the Northern Region Championship on Channel 10 Sports. A 2-point lead for the Centreville Wildcats as we have a fresh 12 minutes on the clock, and this will be the final 12 minutes of the season for one of these two teams.
Staying in the power I. Last time they went toss sweep here to the field to the weak side. That's what, no, they still went weak, but it was a double lead.
White around the left on 3rd and 4. It's going to be close to the first down.
Looks like officials are calling it 1st and goal, just inside the 10. You know, both these teams, not too much a problem in their first-round playoff games. This one settled into a real battle. 2-point game into the 4th quarter, 14-12.
McElroy brings him up the line, everybody in tight on 1st and goal from the 9. Behind a wall of blockers, touchdown, Centreville Wildcats. Looked like Mike Williams behind a host of black shirts took it all the way in for 6.
It's the double lead out of the power I. No misdirection there. Just got the nice seam up front and able to put it in from the 9-yard line. That's what we call smash mouth football. Now you know why we coaches really stress the weightlifting in the offseason, because that's all that comes down to right there.
Christensen out for the point after. It is up, but it is, yes, good. So with 11:24 to go in the ball game, Centreville Wildcats 21, the Oakton Cougars 12.
I don't know if we're going to see a replay on it, but just power I with the fullback and the power back leading the tailback through there, and they got the seam at the point of attack.
It only took them 4 plays to go those 20 yards, and Williams with the 9-yard touchdown run. And the sun is shining brightly on the Centreville Wildcats right now.
There you see the importance of turnovers, because that resulted from the Oakton fumble there inside the 20. Those are the things you hate as a defensive coordinator, when your offense puts you in that position. You know, with Oakton having Buddy Teschner and Sean Lassane and Mark Harrell and those guys, they're never out of it. We've seen how quickly they can go down the field, and I'm sure that Centreville knows that.
Wildcats ready to kick it away as Brian Christensen awaits the referee's whistle. Another squib kick.
Now they better pick it up.
Yep, finally picked up, but then his knee went down right at the 25-yard line. Kevin Haddon.
One of the things you want to do on kickoff return is you need somebody back there to make an immediate call on who takes it, and everybody else gets out of the way, kind of like calling a fly ball in baseball. And when it's kicked on the ground, though, sometimes there's some indecision. That's looked like what happened. This is an important possession, needless to say, for Oakton.
Time for Buddy Teschner to live up to his press clippings with 11:22 remaining in this ball game, down 21-12. Teschner out to his right, shoots it over the top of his intended receiver, Mike Biarno.
Yeah, good protection, just the hitch again. We've seen that a couple times today, and he just missed him. No penetration up front. Oakton's done a good job with their pass protection, but Centreville does like to come hard. I'd still expect them to come back to that screen at some point, the way they're bringing the linebacker.
Now 2nd and 10 for the Cougars at their own 25-yard line. Teschner going nowhere fast as he's brought down in the backfield. Ian Reynolds, number 2 for the Wildcats, with the sack.
Just coming real hard off the edge there. He was lined up over the slot. Here you go, see it again.
Yep, came right off his block and was right in there. You can feel the confidence building here on this Centreville defense. 10:46 to play in the game.
3rd and 15.
Teschner on 3rd and a bunch. Again, looking to throw.
There's the screen.
Picked
Oh!
off. Stepped right up, did Drew Manning.
It's why he's the player of the year in the Concord. There we were expecting to see the screen, and did look like they momentarily had it set up. Manning read it. Right call, just great defensive effort. Here you go. So you can see the hard blitz. A lot of Oakton shirts and one Centreville shirt. He came up with a ball. I imagine Centreville's just going to pound it at him right here out of the power I.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Williams straight ahead, gain of about 3 behind that surging wall of black shirts.
2 turnovers inside the 20. Not what you want if you're Oakton.
Again in tight for the Wildcats. White around the left. Finally pushed out of bounds at about the 5-yard line.
They really got a nice block on Joe Porter, the right end for Oakton. Got him sealed and knocked off the line of scrimmage, which is not what you want from your end on the toss sweep. I don't know if we've got the replay on it, but they really got him hooked.
Finally, Mark Kimmener came over to push him out of bounds, pushed him out at the 5-yard line. 1st and goal now for the Wildcats at the Oakton 5. 9:53 left in this ball game. 21-12, Wildcats lead. Straight ahead again behind that surging wall, gain of about 2. Slowly unstack all the bodies, spot the ball down at the 3-yard line. Clock rolls along, 9:23 to play in the game.
If you're Centreville, you just don't want to turn it over down here. They've had good success with a toss sweep and then the double lead with the full back and power back. They come with a double lead.
White straight ahead.
Maybe got a yard, maybe a yard and a half.
Tripped up as he got to the line of scrimmage.
Oakton playing real tough down here. They're not laying down. They're not ready to concede anything. It's a veteran group of players on this Oakton team, and they've worked real hard to get here. And they're going to fight tooth and nail to the end.
Gelroy brings his Cats up again in the tight formation. 3rd and goal from the 2. Williams straight ahead. Did he get in? Nope, just short.
Brings up 4th down. And they got to be right on the goal line, looks like, from the official spot.
Yep, they put it right down there, just inside the 1. So now 4th and goal for the Centreville Wildcats. Wildcats on 4th and a shoebox. White around the left side.
No.
Didn't make it. The Cougar defense stood the challenge and shut them out at the 1-yard line.
That was real big, Matt, because a score there would have put this thing almost out of reach. And that's a bit of a moral victory, too, for those Cougars on defense being put in that position with the turnover off the screen and keeping them from no points. Now, normally for most teams backed up here, you're pretty conservative, but I ate my words last week. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them throw out of here at some point, not on 1st down.
Cougars have 99 yards to go as they do start out conservative with 7:42 on the clock.
Just a wedge play, trying to get some room. Here's where he threw last week. It was on 2nd and 9. A little hitch. Let's see if he puts Lassane out here to his left.
Pick up about 2 yards on that, make it 2nd and 8.
Staying in his tight formation. Option. Midline option. Got a couple.
Yep, got it up to the 5-yard line.
Centreville this half's done a pretty good job against the option. Certainly better than most people have. Better than us. Our game's a training tape for the how not to defend the option. I think our free safety made every tackle. There's a replay of it.
Make it 3rd and about 5.5 now for the Oakton Cougars.
Okay, he does have Lassane up to the top. And corner is playing inside. He's signaling his hip. It's a choice pattern. It's going to go back to the single receiver. There it is.
Out to Lassane, makes the catch up at about the 10. It'll be just short of the first down.
Now that time, Mark Glenn elected to make the tackle there instead of go for the ball. Probably a little better decision. Brings up the 4th and short. You could see that they were going to Lassane all along there. And not a bad thing to do either.
Looks like they're going to measure for it. It is close enough that they do bring the sticks out to measure. Inches short.
6-10, fourth quarter. Centreville 21, Oakton 12. It's nothing. We had to restart the game.
Cougars look on, 4th and inches at their own 10-yard line with 6:08 to play in the ball game. Down 21-12.
Play of the game here.
Everybody in tight, straight ahead. Looks like they got it.
That they had to make that to keep any chance here.
So the Cougars pick up the first down, now out at their own 12-yard line. The drive stays alive for the Oakton Cougars.
Oakton's got to be the best team in the region from coming out from their 1-yard line I've ever seen.
And I'm sure Pete wishes they didn't have to do it as often.
That's a good point.
I believe it's Deck trying to go straight ahead, still moving his legs, gets it up to about the 14.
Scratching, clawing, fighting for everything he can get.
Picks up about 2, make it 2nd and 8 now for the Cougars. The officials want a timeout.
There's a lot to be said for getting to the regional championship game back-to-back years. Might throw the ball here. He's in his double slot formation.
Teschner on 2nd and 7, goes out to his left. He's got Harrell for a first down. He gets it up across the 30 to about the 34.
And Harrell's the guy that can break the long one. He does have the foot speed. You don't make that tackle. He's a 4.6 and a 40 and capable of running away from people. See the double slot formation? Just reading the seams there. 4 guys vertical. Trips this time. Trips to his right.
1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line. Got Harrell again. He's got some room. It'll be close to the first down.
That's the slide route there where he's reading the strong safety from the trips there. If that strong safety drops back, then he throws to that bubble route or swing route. If that strong safety had come up, he'd have thrown behind him. Made the right read there and threw to the bubble route. Here it is. You just see it after the completion. But the strong safety had dropped back.
So it really comes down to that split-second time that Teschner has to make that read and get it to the right receiver.
That's correct.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line, 4:38 to play. Teschner again to throw.
Good
Tipped
time,
at the
got
line.
blocked.
Yep, falls incomplete. Make it 2nd and 10 now for the Cougars.
Remember, this drive started at the 1-yard line, but they've got to, Oakton that is, has got to come away with some points on this possession.
2nd and 10 now at their own 45-yard line. 4:34 left in the game.
Trap.
Deck straight ahead up to about the 48.
Guard trap, just a quick hitting play, pretty good play against an aggressive defense that hits gaps, gain of 3. Going without a huddle.
3rd and about 6 now for the Cougars.
Double slot, he likes to throw out of this.
Pump fake, he's got Lassane for the first down inside Centreville territory to the 38.
You can see how calm, look how calm Teschner is. He's just walking back there. They're Oakton, very good at 2-minute drill. They're at the line of scrimmage waiting for the call. There's no sense of panic whatsoever.
Sean Lassane at 6'4", making for an awful big target that Teschner's been hitting with frequency.
Put that on a rope.
Did he catch it? Yes, he did. Mark Harrell. Looks like he'll have another first down. This drive very reminiscent of the drive they put together in their first meeting earlier this season as they're marching right down the field.
Centreville in appears to be in man coverage underneath at least.
1st and 10 from the 30-yard line now. They wrap up Deck.
Tried to run the trap, well defensed. Yeah, the other thing Centreville's thinking here, make them use as much time as they have to.
Clock rolling along, 3.5 minutes left in the game. 21-12, Centreville on top. But Teschner and company are threatening. Lassane was down on the field, and that's why that one fell with no one near.
Went for the home run there, not a bad call. He's thinking 2 downs here, Matt. It's 3rd and 11.
3rd and 11 at the 30-yard line. 3:20 to play in the game. Teschner. They had defenders all over the intended receiver, Ryan Harn. He wants an interference call, but it doesn't look like he's going to get it.
Yeah, Ryan's arguing. There goes a flag there. That was awful late, maybe unsportsmanlike. I hope not.
Ryan is fired up.
Yeah, you don't want that. That's not a call you want to see here. Coach Bendorf out on the field, rightfully so. Let's see what they're calling. Yeah, that's not a call you want to see there. 4th and 10, maybe 4th and 25, kind of takes them out of it. The officials in this situation have to understand the emotions run very high. Regional championship ball game, 3 minutes to go. It's 21-12. Yes, sportsmanship is very important, and we've seen a very cleanly played game to this point. But you do have to have a pretty high tolerance point at this point. Coach Bendorf very upset. Don't blame him a bit.
After the penalty, it marks the ball back at the 45-yard line.
That's really unfortunate there. You want the game decided by the players on the field.
The calls have definitely not been going the way of the Oakton Cougars.
You could see Pete is protesting.
Still, as Teschner brings the Cougars up to the line on 4th and about 25 with 3:16 left in the game.
Expect Centreville to come very hard here off the edges.
Teschner on 4th goes on the right side to Lassane. There's a flag thrown. might be an interference call against Mark Glenn, defending against Lassane, which has been the matchup all day.
Well, that's what he called. That's going to be a first down. Well, but that will be a first down if, in fact, it is pass interference.
Another
Here
look
it is.
if we can get a look at it.
You know, I want to see this again because if they're both going for the ball, which it appeared to be, if you're Centreville, you're arguing no call there. It's
the throw was on the inside, and that's the side Glenn was on. So the Cougars get the call back, and it's now 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line of Centreville. The Cougars are right back in it with 3:09 left in the ball game. Teschner pumps once. Now that should be an interference, and it is.
Yeah.
He was trying to get out to Mark Harrell, and was number Ian Reynolds over on the coverage, and he was blocking his path rather obviously.
Yeah, no question there.
Take another look.
That's the switch route, which we saw last week. Harrell starting from the inside position. Yeah, he's all over him.
You can see it perfectly in the replay.
And you know, this crew of officials has done a very good job officiating this game. And I think at this point, right now, it's just going to come down to who can put this thing in the end zone and who can stop them. But let's see what happens here. Oakton trips right.
1st and 10 from the 15-yard line of the Wildcats. 3:04 remaining in the ball game. Out to Harrell. Gets the move. Gets across the 10, down to the 5, inside. Now they're going to mark it right at the 5-yard line, close to the first down. 2:52 remaining, clock running. Take another look at it. You see Harrell makes the catch, and the defender slips and goes down.
We saw that play before. That's that slide play. And again, the bubble route was the route that was open.
Here we go, back to live action, trying to get it to Harrell, and it's deflected, falls incomplete.
I think that was Josh Mosser there on defense. Nice break on the football. Stops the clock.
Now 3rd and inches for the Cougars. They can pick up a first down inside the 5-yard line here. 2:32 left in the game. 21-12, Centreville Wildcats in front. Teschner has Lassane way up to the left-hand side, Map down to the right. That's Harrell in motion. Out to Lassane.
That's face. I'm not going to say it.
No penalty thrown. Again, trying to get it up high and let Lassane take advantage of his height, and it falls incomplete.
Mark Glenn really didn't make any effort there to play the ball, just totally face shielding there on the receiver. Oakton at this point might want, here you go, you can see it. See number 4 there is not really playing the ball at all. It's very evident. Oakton here may elect to run the ball here and get the first down. Little surprised they didn't do that on 3rd down so as not to put themselves in this situation where they have to get it. But who am I to question what they're doing?
Well, and also while we have this pause, not that there was any doubt last week, but I just want to let everybody know at home last week that when you were predicting that Pete might have been thinking about the free kick,
yes,
he definitely was. When I talked to him
is that right?
When I talked to him last night at the Division 5 game, I said, "Were you thinking free kick?" And he said, "Yeah, I was. I couldn't believe you guys were talking about it." I said, "Well, we weren't. You were."
Yeah, but instead they got the ball and drove down and scored a touchdown.
Yeah. But he said, yeah, absolutely. When they received that punt, his player looked over to him. So here we go. 4th and inches, 2:26 to play. Inches away from a 1st and goal situation inside the 5.
Yeah,
Deck has it.
It's down, looks like to be on the 4-yard line.
Maybe
They'll go without a huddle.
Yep, maybe even a tad inside of that.
Right.
So 1st and a goal at about the 3.5. 2:23 to play.
Down by 9.
Teschner rolling left. Scott Lassane, no Map. Back touchdown, Oakton Cougars.
Well, that's a nice throw.
Mark Harrell open across the middle.
Buddy showing you why he's the offensive player of the year in the Concord district.
He kept looking way out to his left, and then comes back into the middle. Take another look at this great
hard
throw.
roll, and he'll stop, turn his shoulders, and throw against the grain. There's not many high school quarterbacks can do that.
Harrell now for the point after.
Well, mishandled. Holder did a great job of getting the ball down on the tee.
And the kick is up, and it is good. So with 2:12 remaining in this game, it's Centreville 21, Oakton 19.
Well, fans getting their money's worth today.
They sure are.
You know, and again, Oakton with a 4th and 25 ends up with a first down. They are unbelievable picking up those long yardage things. And this game coming down right to the wire.
We are
Imagine Oakton will try that mob onside. Although there is some merit in considering going deep. And of course, the thinking is there, you got to hope you come up with a stop,
right,
force a punt, and get the ball back in pretty good field possession that way.
They went 99 yards, 19 plays. Teschner was 7 for 12 with 72 yards.
And did it relatively quickly.
Yeah.
When you consider they ran 19 plays. I want to say there was 6 minutes on the clock when they got the ball.
That's what I'm thinking too.
And so that would indicate they did that in 4 minutes.
Well, when they stepped up, I said Buddy had to earn his press clippings, and he did just that on that drive.
Yeah, they're left no doubt. Now let's see if he goes with the mob onside. If he does, they'll just turn. The kicker will turn, and the entire huddle of kick coverage guys will just attack the front line of Centreville, and they will try to knock them out of the way. The ball will be kicked slowly. No, he's going to break it apart. Now, that doesn't mean he's not necessarily going to try an onside. Well, let's see. There you go.
There they go, right to the left.
All right.
Looking for that bounce. Taken, hit. Centreville holds on to the football, we think.
That's what the officials are signaling.
Yep. So it'll be Centreville football, 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line with 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in this ball game. It's a 2-point lead for the Centreville Wildcats.
Well, if you're Centreville, you're thinking right now that you've got to pick up the first down and not turn the ball over. If you're Oakton, obviously you're thinking we've got to come up with a stop and get the ball back to our offense. Oakton has brought everybody up. They're not playing a free safety.
Brian White twists his way up to down to about the 46.
Oakton takes a timeout.
Clock stops at 2:03. Oakton uses their last timeout to stop this clock at 2:03.
Pretty good first down play for Centreville, pick up a 5. Centreville coaches reminding the backs to keep both hands on the ball, not turn the football over. Conversely, on the Oakton side, that's Mark Stockenberg, the defensive coordinator out there, been at Oakton quite a few years. He's telling those guys, second and third guy coming in, go for the ball.
2nd and 5 for the Wildcats. Brian White now over 200 yards on the afternoon. 2 receivers up to the right-hand side for McElroy. This is White. Sure-handedly gets it across the 45 down to about the 41. It'll be short of the first down.
Comerford hit him at the line, but White kept battling and picked up a couple extra yards. So brings up 3rd and short.
Clock ticking away. 1:39 left in this ball game as you take a look at the last play.
That's the lead play right there. You saw Comerford hit him, and he got an extra yard and a half after the first contact.
3rd and about 1.5 for the Wildcats. 2 receivers up to the right. White. Looks like he's got enough for the first down.
It's going to be close. The official here is spotting it right on the 40-yard line, and the stick is right on the 40-yard line. They'll probably pull out the chains for this.
Nope, they're going to call it fourth down, fourth and inches.
Okay, yeah, you can see the tip of the ball is not quite to the line.
Clock rolls, 46 seconds left in this ball game. It's a 21-19 Centreville lead.
Well, the decision here is if you go for it and don't make it, you turn the ball over on the 40-yard line, 60 yards away. They're going to call timeout and think about this here. Your Coach Folio down there.
Well, they let a lot of time run off. The clock stops at 33 seconds.
Of course, the thinking here is if you punt, the concern is the block. You've got to execute the snap and the kick. Of course, you get it off, you're pretty good position. They've got to go a long ways, but block punt turns this thing around in a hurry.
Don't go anywhere. At the conclusion of this one, Steve Sumption will round up our player of the game selection and the winning coach. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget, if you're watching this game Saturday, you can watch it again Sunday starting at 7 o'clock. And while we're doing plugs, don't forget Bendorf Bench, Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock here on Channel 10 Sports. But we're 33 seconds away from crowning the Division VI Northern Region champ.
And it will be a Concord District team.
You're just psychic with that prediction.
Yeah.
Here we go. Fourth and inches. White got the first down. Inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, they got it the way they've been getting the yards all day, just straight ahead with White on the carry. See, the Centreville sideline is celebrating now. This is a tough spot to be in if you're the Oakton Cougars. See Coach Bendorf out there with his hands on his hips, taking the kneel down.
Wildcats shift into the genuflect offense, and that'll be the last play of the game. The Centreville Wildcats, the Northern Region Division VI champions.
Congratulations to Centreville, finished the season at 11-1, regional champions. Oakton Cougars, best season in history. For them, hard-fought battle, came back from 14-6 to make this a ball game, came right down to the last couple plays there. I think this was the best two teams in Division VI this year, made it to the finals and lived up to its billings at 21-19. Congratulations to Coach Folio and his staff and players, and congratulations to Coach Bendorf and his staff and players. Great season for both teams, and of course Centreville will continue right back here next Saturday against Hilton, who was the winner of the Northwest region.
Steve Sumption is rounding up Victoria Stanfolio and our player of the game selection. Dave, are you ready with stats? Why don't you go ahead and take my headsets here and give us the final game stats.
Okay, for Oakton, let's give you the passing game. Buddy Teschner was 12 for 27 with 1 interception. He did have 2 TD passes, and yardage is 163 yards in the air. Mark Harrell and Sean Lassane pretty much split the receptions with 6 and 5 respectively. On the ground, Johnny Deck led their ball carriers with 17 carries for 40 yards. Mark Harrell had 3 carries for 18 yards. And let's go to Centreville. Wildcats passing game. Sam McElroy didn't have to put it up much. He was 3 for 5 for 27 yards. In fact, he didn't throw a pass in the second half. Willis Dixon had 3 for 9. Mike Williams had 6 carries for 23 yards. Sean Diggs had 1 carry for 14 yards. And the story of the game, Bryant Rocket White had 39 carries, 4 short of matching the record for District 6 championship, 213 yards, and he is our player of the game, and we will see him next week.
You know, Dave, I think that is definitely the story of the game, but along with that is Centreville's defense against the run. And it was evident when you gave those stats.
Yeah.
Oakton has been able to move the ball on everybody on the ground, particularly with their midline option and veer. And after a little shaky start from Centreville, they did a good job against the run. Buddy Teschner, though, showing you why he's probably the top quarterback in the area on making this a ball game.
And Teschner didn't necessarily have the great percentages, but when he needed the big pass, he hit the big pass. We saw that last week, too.
Exactly. Well put.
Okay, Matt, back to you, Ben.
Shaw saw a shot down there on the field of the championship trophies, which will be awarded in just a few minutes. That's the look at our remote truck out back here at South Lakes High School. I'd like to thank everybody at South Lakes for their great hospitality, putting on a tremendous Northern Region Championship game. We think Steve Sumption is out there trying to round up post-game interviews. We'll hang here with you for a while. Mark, you were here last year winning this championship. What's going through your head right now as the winning coach?
Well, you're excited. This is something that every team shoots for. And sometimes it's tougher getting out of the region than it is doing anything else, especially in Division VI. It seems like you got to play somebody twice. And that's exactly what Centreville had to do. They had to beat a very, very good Oakton team 2 times. And as we did last year, and that's a tough accomplishment. So, you know, I'm sure they're very excited. This is the first time a Centreville team, to my knowledge, has gone into the state playoffs. And, you know, they're very happy, obviously.
Centreville, one of the younger schools in the Northern Region. They've used their years wisely, as Pete was on the very first coaching staff over there at Centreville High School, and they've put together a great winning tradition as they lift the Northern Region Championship trophy high.
And interestingly enough, you know, Centreville has got some underclassmen that have contributed to this team. Mike Williams, number 45, starting running back as a junior. Sam McElroy, the quarterback, as a junior. I believe Carl Dorr, with first-team All-District offensive lineman, is a junior. They'll be good again next year, as I'm sure Oakton will take the success from this season and the confidence they've gained and take that into next year.
Steve Sumption is out rounding up post-game interviews. We're going to name players of the game from both sides, as only fitting here in the Northern Region Championship. Both teams have done so much to get here. They can pry those guys away from that trophy. Not an easy thing to do.
That thing will get passed around for the next half hour.
Yeah. Still down there working away is Steve.
You know, this is what you remind your players of in August during two-a-days when it's hot, you're sore, and you're tired. But that's where the work's got to be done so that you're playing in late November. And one of the things we talk about is practicing on Thanksgiving, and that's what the Centreville Wildcats will be doing.
I don't know if you can hear that or not, but we can hear Steve in our headsets rounding up interviews. I think we're going to start with